He chuckles.
Good evening. I'm Boomer, and I am an alcoholic. There's still a few of us around. You know, it is such an honor to give the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sharon Trammell was an awful close friend of mine, and she was a very special lady, and this award couldn't be named after a better person. A lot of you in this room today never had that pleasure of meeting Sharon. She was one of those warriors. And you have to be a warrior to get a Lifetime Achievement Award. Because to get the Lifetime Achievement Award, you have to be around a long time, number one. You have to have started off at the bottom and worked your way up. You had to have had disappointments. Because when you work in this field, and it's nonprofit, and you're tied to the state, and the state's tied to money, and to taxes, and to changes in politicians, you know, you go up and down. And you never know from one year to the next year what's going to happen. And yet you plod on because you got these folks out there that need help. They don't have money. They don't have resources. They don't have hope. They've got despair. They've got problems. And they're looking for a hand to help. And the person that's going to get the Lifetime Achievement Award tonight kind of mirrors my life. He started out in treatment, went to work in the field right out of treatment, fell in love with it, found a home, stayed. The organization that he belongs to wouldn't be the organization it is today had he not been there. Because if you do not have somebody like this person on your staff, then the people in charge can't go out and do the things they need to do to make the program grow. You probably have never met him. You probably don't know him. I met him about 20 years ago. He has become a friend. We have an awful lot in common. I'll tell a quick story, and then he'll know who I'm talking about. About 7 years ago, we used to talk a lot about golf. And I told him, he said, if you ever played that honors course down in Chattanooga, there's a golf course down in Chattanooga named the Honors, and it's a pretty prestigious golf club, and you know, it's one of those things that you'd like to do. It's kind of like the Masters. As a matter of fact, the man that built the golf course used to be a member of the Masters, and he was supposed to be the chairman of the board of the Masters, and due to political pressures, he didn't get it, and so he came back to Chattanooga and built the Honors, and he said, this is going to be my Masters. This is going to be my golf course. This is going to be my Augusta National. It's going to be the Honors in Chattanooga. And he built that golf course, and it's a great golf course. And so I promised him, I said, I can get you on the golf course. I'm going to bring you down to Chattanooga, and we're going to play that golf course. And hell, I didn't know if he could play golf or not. I thought he might have been a putt-putt player, you know, windmills and elephants and camels and things like that. You know, I brought him down to Chattanooga about 6 years later. It took me that long to follow up. I'm a procrastinator. And I brought him to Chattanooga, and we went out and we played the Honors, and it turns out he's one hell of a golfer. I don't know if he played awful well that day, but he played extremely well as far as I was concerned. But we spent the whole day just talking about recovery and golf. And what I learned about his heart that day is his heart spends 7 days a week, 24 hours a day at his organization. And that's the commitment that he has, and that is the commitment that most of the people in this room that have been in an organization for a long period of time have. That's the commitment I've seen Kyle have for his organization. That's the commitment I know Charlotte has for her organization, and I'm sure the judge over here, that's the commitment he has to the drug court and the people that you work with. And the legislature, Andy, I'm sure that's the commitment that you have today, and it will grow as you grow. I know Randy Jesse's been around a long, long time, and that allowed the commissioner to become the commissioner. And you know, it's just the way this thing works. Everybody has somebody to lean on that they know they can leave because what's going on at home is going to be taken care of. And the recipient tonight is a guy named Johnny Lewis from EM Jellinek Center. And Johnny, before you come up, I want you to wait just a minute. Hold on. All right, come on up, Johnny. Come on up. Come on up. Did you know?
I didn't know. I know what. I'm going to have to talk to my staff later.
You know, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of you didn't know Frank Kalinsky. And Frank was a special character. He didn't start the EL Jellinek Center, but he became a part of the EL Jellinek Center, I guess, back in the late 70s. In 81. Johnny came to treatment in 82. Johnny went to work there in 83. Johnny became that pillar, that backbone to allow Frank to go out and do the things that he could do to build Jellinek Center up. Frank passed away here, 3 years, 4 years ago? God, 5 years. Time flies when you're getting old. Frank passed away 5 years ago, and Johnny not only raised Frank, but Frank passed away and left his 2 sons for Johnny to raise. So now he's raising his 2 sons at the EL Jellinek Center. And day in, day out, 7 days a week, Johnny stays there. He delivers the kind of treatment that he learned when he went to treatment in 82. And I'll tell you something about us alcoholics. If you believe in recovery and you believe in the 12 steps, no matter what the federal government says, no matter what other people say, we understand there's only one way to get it. And we keep delivering the 12 steps. We keep delivering our beliefs in a higher power. And we keep going to meetings, and we keep delivering the same message over and over and over again, just hoping that people will get it. And what we have learned is you might not get it the first time, the second time, the third time. Don't ever give up hope on them. You can get angry at them, you can get mad at them, but don't ever give up hope. Because you never know when that light switch is going to go on. And they get it. Johnny, congratulations.
Thanks so much, Brady. I'm certainly honored, surprised, shocked, really, because my story is one of countless guys that have helped Jellinek and myself to be what we are. I went through treatment. I was an IV drug user, 24-year-old, and many a day I'd wake up and just wondered, what's going to happen today. But long story short, I got in a little trouble, and thank God that a few people knew about getting treatment and stuff. I'd never heard of it, never tried it, didn't know nothing about it, but gave me the option to get some help, which I took. And when I finished my 21 days, I wound up going to the halfway house at Jellinek. Didn't know what it was, didn't know what a halfway house was, how it worked or nothing. But I just knew that for me, I couldn't go back to the same environment because I wouldn't have a chance. And I was sick and tired of living that way. And I think for a lot of people that come through our program, you have to reach the point to where you're sick and tired of living that way. And a day at a time, I had some of the best people. Frank Kalinsky, whom all of you know, was pivotal in my life. We worked side by side for 25 years. Sam Childers, some of the best AA people that you'd hope to be around for a young man like myself. One day turned into another, I go to work, and eventually I wind up working in the office and trying to take care of the people that are in the halfway house, to offer them the hope and stuff that was given to me, offer them direction, because like they say, they come through the door, they can't really see tomorrow. They don't know, they can't even look ahead to tomorrow because they just don't know what they're going to do. No job, no money, no families, give up on them, no friends, nobody to turn to. I think the thing that's helped me the most is to know that when a guy comes through the door, I get to know him. And I can see the slow change in them. And I can see that they maybe see a little light at the end of the tunnel. If you leave the drugs alone, you leave the alcohol alone. One day at a time turns into a year, and a year turns into 5. And that's been a process to me. Jellinek is my life. I will probably be there as long as I'm able to work because that's where my friends are. This is what I want to do. I want to help people. I'm blessed to have an excellent staff that's dedicated to helping the guys that come through the door over there. There's bad parts to the job. I mean, people relapse, and I know that when I send them out the door, they're probably not going to have much of a chance. We always try to keep that door open for them, but at the same time, we have expectations that we want them to meet while they're over there. There's certain things that we have to do. We've got to get structure back in their life. Most of them's just like we all know. I mean, they no direction, no nothing, just get up and do whatever they want to and go on about their business, and they have to understand that things like that have to change. I'm honored to be up here tonight. It means a lot to me to know that I've spent 30-something years at Jellinek, and I know the amount of people that we have changed their life. A lot of them work over there now. But we were talking about it tonight, just on the way down here, as a matter of fact, and just me and Rick talking. I said, you know, it'd be nice to bring Rick and Jeff and Carl and Hubert and some of the guys that's come through treatment over there that now work over there, that what it done for them. And it's long term. It can't be done in 21 days. You can't do them 21 days and send them back out to nowhere. They have to have long-term treatment. We offer that for them, and we encourage them to stay at least a year when they come through, and like for them to stay longer. But thank you all so much. I've enjoyed my time at TAADAS. I'm still learning. I'm just kind of new to it, but, it takes time. Frank took care of all that. And I took care of Jellinek, so I still like to do what I like to do, and that's go to work every morning and try to help somebody. And I thank you all.